If you're not wearing animal skins today, it's because you've been touched by the beautiful craft of spinning. There are 3 basics to spinning: wool preparation, the spinning, and finalizing your product. Much of the information I'm going to share with you today comes from watching demonstrations with our Baroness Wheezy and from the Weaving, Spinning, and Dyeing book. This is Icelandic fleece. It is a period fleece for the SCA. It's come sheared right off the animal, so it's pretty nasty looking. You can see it. It's just kind of hunks of fiber. If you were to touch it, and you'll get that opportunity in a little bit, it's full of lanolin, which is a natural secretion that comes off the animal. So, what I'm going to show you is how we process this. Very basic. I have an Icelandic sheep in my backyard. I just sheared it. Now I need to get this ready for spinning, but I don't have a lot of tools at my disposal. So I take a hunk of this and I start pulling it apart, looking for vegetable matter, because they're always going to have some kind of weed or feces or something within the wool. So I pull it apart and I take a look at it and I pull the big sticks out of it. I pull any leaves that are in it, anything that looks like poop I would throw away, and just keep going with that throughout this wool. Otherwise, I can create a basic board with some large nails on the back of it, rake this fleece across the top of it. That will help pull it apart and expose all the vegetable matter that's in it. There are other tools, but again, we're staying with the very basics. After you've pulled apart your wool, the next process would either be teasing or carding your wool. If you don't have access to basic cards, and they are pretty expensive, a couple of dog hair brushes or cat hair brushes will work just fine. Or, if you can't afford those to get started, see, this is pretty teased. You don't even have to bother with the carding. When you card wool, you just put it on one of the brushes, take it on the other, and you just rake it across. And that pulls it open even farther and straightens out the fibers that are in this fleece. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
As I keep going, it's going to end up being almost like a man's beard. If you can see that, it'll be a nice combed beard. When I finish with that process, I consider this a piece of carded wool that I can spin. If you don't have access to cards, and I prefer this method for myself, I just continue to pick my wool and tease it until it's real stringy and fluffy. You can see what I'm doing, pulling the fibers apart. It's not stuck together, it just kind of flows open. Can you see that? Once I get a piece like that, I can spin straight from this instead of the carded wool. So the next step that you would need is a drop spindle. And I did bring several rudimentary drop spindles that I just threw together. All you need, in doing a drop spindle, is just a basic toy wheel to get started. Or if you're handy on a lathe, make yourself a round with the center of it balanced, and a simple dowel. It can be hardwood or it can be poplar. You would insert it into the wheel. If you prefer to use a little glue to keep it stable, because eventually it will get loose, put your glue in when you put this in. And then you'll need a small hook device. For those just getting started, I brought just a regular cup hook that you can buy at any hardware store. You can move on to using copper wire or real silver of a thicker gauge, which makes a much prettier spindle. Center it on the top of the rod, Twist that bad boy in. If you're using hardwood, be careful as you go in because it has a tendency to split and you'll lose the tip of your rod. So there's a basic rudimentary spindle. To make it a little bit easier to use, you can get a pencil sharpener and just kind of round off that bottom end. After you do that, get the type of tip that you like. You're ready to go to start spinning. This one's been tapered a little bit more, if you can see. This one's got more of a point. And this one I used a Dremel on. It's easy for me to grasp my fingers here to spin this spin. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. When starting with spinning your wool, grab that little piece that we kind of teased apart here. You have to begin it. So, first we process our wool by picking and spinning it, picking it and cleaning it. Second, we tease or card it. Third, we're going to spin it. You need to attach it to your spindle, so just a little bit on the end. Hot in there good. Everybody see how I did that? Just do a couple of little twists here. You're going to pull just a little bit of fiber out of here and let that twist up just a tad until it twists up into your ball. And pull a little bit more out, let that just automatically twist. Turn the bottom, pull down. I just want just enough to secure this to the drop spoon. You see what I'm doing? Just bring it out a little bit. Just kind of twist on its own. I'm going to turn the bottom one more time. Now I'm going to attach it to the drop spoon. Can everybody see that? Take right underneath on the bottom. I'm just going to wrap that thread yarn right around the bottom of that drop spoon. And then we'll bring it right back up through the hook. Now I'm going to give myself just a little bit extra here. And I'm going to start spinning. So I just turn the bottom, pull my thread, it'll automatically spin on up. You see that? Now this is with teased wool. You notice that the spindle's kind of flopping because I have it balanced. But that doesn't mean you can't spin with it. Balancing makes it go a lot easier. You see that? And when it gets long enough, if you're sitting, that would already been too long. Standing, it's a lot easier. You can get quite a bit of length off of it. You just wrap it around and repeat that process. Once your spindle is full, let's say that it's this thick all the way down, it's full, I can't really get any more on it, then you're going to need to remove it from the drop spoon. Where's my guinea pig? Sarah? All right, tomorrow will you be my guinea pig? Sure. All right, then you're going to remove it from the drop spoon. Feel the clamp of the foam there. And you would just continue doing this until the whole thing is unraveled off of the drop spoon. And at the end, say that's his end. Pretend like that's empty. Then you would retrieve your spun wool, twist it, not too tight. Fold it in half, and it'll automatically start to twist like that. Now you have a skein. Once you have a skein, you have a finished product. So the next step is going to be finalizing this. What you're going to do now is take this skein and put it in a basin of water, a tub of water, whatever you have available, and a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid. You're going to squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, rinse it. You're going to do this over and over several times. Then you're going to pour the hottest water that you can stand into that basin. You're going to pour the hottest water into that basin. Squeeze out your skein, open it back up, and hang it to dry. Once it's dry, you have your finished product, and now it's ready for weaving, embellishment, embroidery, ink loom weaving, that sort. This is an example of some finished product, and this is finished product that's been formed into cloth. So these are the basics for processing your raw fleece into a tangible product for making cloth. First, we have processing the wool. Second, we have the spinning. Third, we have finalizing the product. I absolutely love spinning and was introduced to it the first time I ever saw the movie Gandhi. Got involved with the SCA, and I've been addicted ever since. So I'm proud to be an SCA spinster. Thank you.